you know exactly who you are, and that is manifestly apparent in the movement that you've built. And I think that's part of the reason why people who watch your show adore you, because you are authentic. You do say exactly what you mean, and there's such a desire for that. You know, not like I'm perfect in every way, right? Like a sort of warts and all approach to life, because we all have our own stuff, right? But there were, like, you didn't get there overnight. Like, you went through some tough stuff, like this whole thing that you just laid out with the news station that you worked at. And then it was like, and then the next thing I turn around is you got fit. You're like gaining all this steam and traction, and you're doing these awesome live stream shows on Facebook. I know, cause I joined you on a bunch of them, and all of a sudden Facebook kind of cuts you off. It says, but then you find
then
another
I got
way.
fired twice in radio. Yeah, then I got fired twice in radio.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And like,
At that point, it's just game on. It's just
it's
game
not.
on.
I struggle with it, Wendy. It's not. I don't. You know.
It's still
not
fresh for you. It's still fresh for you.
It's not easy. You know.
There's time. I mean, like, the cycle of grieving. Not only did I lose a job that I thought I really loved, I
You
had
had
the
20 plus
realization.
Emmys. You had 20
I had
plus Emmys.
doesn't matter. How many medals do you have? Do you walk around with them on your chest?
No,
No, it
no.
doesn't make who you are. It's a chapter of your life. But what happened was they took away a career that I loved. But what I realized was, from all of that, the career that I thought I loved had changed. And I wasn't down with the change. So I was either going to get fired, or I was going to have to end up walking away. And the good Lord forced my hand and pushed me in a direction I never could have imagined. Like, if that hadn't happened, you and I are going to have this conversation in 2 years, and you're going to go back on this, and you're going to see that the wounds are still raw for you, but they heal, and you'll be in a different direction doing something completely different that you had never imagined in a million years. And you're going to look back and you're going to say, like, amen. Thank you for that. And if you think that there's not a Lord,
How did you keep the right attitude when you were going through all that stuff? Like, what? I mean, obviously you've got 5 boys and you love this country. You're a true believer, and like, what? Was it hard at times?
I remember the next day after I got fired, I had to take my oldest son, who was then a sophomore in high school, hadn't yet gotten his driver's license. And it was a terrible rainy day, and he missed the school bus. So I had to drive him to school, and he flipped on the radio, and two guys who host a morning show were tearing me to shreds, calling me this, calling me that, racist this, racist that. And I looked at him and I said, honey, I am so sorry, because this is going to get hard for you. And he goes, Mom, no, I'm sorry for you. And then I had to go to the grocery store that day. And being a very public figure, everybody knew who I was.
Mm-hmm.
And the looks, that was uncomfortable. But you make a decision. You're like, what am I not gonna? I'm not gonna go out and live my life. I'm not gonna stand up straight. If anything, I stood up straighter, and I was like, I know who I am. You people can suck it. Like, whatever. And you know what you learn? And here's the thing. You know what you learn? Your world. So you're born, you have a very small circle, mom and dad, then it gets bigger. You have siblings, then you go to school and it gets bigger, and then you get a job and it gets bigger, and you get married, and then you do this, and then you have children, and then it gets getting smaller and it gets a little smaller, right? And then it's just you and your partner, or just you. All right? That's the cycle. I was able to eliminate a lot of dead weight real fast.
You
know
know
who
who
your friends are.
You do. It's like that is something that I learned.
Enough with the charade.
Yeah, I mean, it is amazing to me. Yeah, the people that matter stay. The people that know you stay.
Why do you think Andrew is still with you?
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
it's Brock to me. It's my husband to me. You're very small. You don't need a whole lot. There's very little that you need, Sean Parnell, to make you happy. Money makes things a little bit more comfortable, but that's not the drive. The drive is being able to be who you are, how you are, where you are, with the people you want to be with, without any pretenses and fakeness. Done.
You